There is no fire hazard! Ha! 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 Here come the fireworks! Illusion shattered! Fuse is lit! There is no fire hazard! Illusion! Time for a light show! Go. Opening box of Adepti. Wow. Rise. Fuse is lit! Huh? It's Cyno! What are you doing here?
Ah, it's you two. I knew I sensed a familiar presence. I'm currently in the middle of an investigation here. We'll have to chat some other time. There's been a recent case of canned knowledge smuggling. It seems that the smugglers are following an elaborate and dangerous scheme. I just happened to acquire some intel which led me here.
Hey, what do you know? We're also here to investigate that.
I see. Well, the situation might be more problematic than you anticipated. I've already questioned several people, but gained very little information. Long story short, I was able to learn of the secret location where the canned knowledge is being sold. You're welcome to accompany me if you're interested.
Whoa, that sounds pretty complicated. But having Cyno around will definitely make things easier. Alright, let's go round up those bad guys.
Shine down!
Ooh, let me open it.
Is this all you got? Seems even less than last time.
What difference does it make? If you see something you like, buy it. If not, then keep walking.
They've been cracking down on us lately, so we don't have much on hand. If you see something that catches your eye, then now's your chance. There's no telling when we'll have more.
What does the Academia think they're doing? Alright, I'll take these here. Let me see what else you have. I don't see any real gems in this batch. It's all pretty ordinary stuff. Whatever, how much do I owe you?
150K. Show us the Mora, and you'll get the goods.
Put the Mora down and your hands up.
It's Cyno! When's he ever gonna let up?
Hey, forget the goods! Let's split!
But don't forget the Mora!
Dun-dun! Not so fast! You can't escape with Paimon on the case!
What is this? He's got backup now? Doesn't everyone say Cyno works alone? I don't like the looks of this. Either way, it's gonna be a tough fight. Any ideas?
It's over. It's not like we're making a big cut anyway. I'm not losing my life here.
Huh? Did they really just give up like that?
Just like the others I've caught. They're not deep in the circle, just dealers at the bottom of the chain. All right, I have one question and one question only. Where did you get this canned knowledge?
The pickup location is different every time. The boss tells us where it's gonna be and that's it. We don't get a say in it. He sends someone every 5 days to bring us the goods.
And when is the next batch coming?
I don't know.
He's telling the truth. Honest. Normally, we should have received a shipment 3 days ago, but we didn't get anything. The stock we have right now is from 8 days ago, which is why there isn't much left.
I know exactly why they didn't receive their last batch. 3 days ago is exactly when I started my investigation. I suspect who's ever running this whole thing knew that I was coming. So they cut all contact with these dealers. When you were trying to escape, you said something about me working alone. Where did you hear that from?
Are you kidding? We've known your name since day one in this business. The boss warned us to watch out and even gave us info about you. But here we are. I guess we never stood a chance.
They already knew all about me and were trying to avoid being detected from the very beginning. These small fries are the only ones they leave out in the open. And no matter how many we catch, it won't further our investigation. If only we had another lead. Like a merchant who sells large amounts of canned knowledge.
Huh? Oh, you mean someone like nothing?
Do you have a potential suspect? You'd better bring them to me for judgment.
Whoa! Judgment?
That's right. I won't turn a blind eye on any dangerous suspect.
Oh! Sounds like we shouldn't ever let Cyno meet Dory.
I see. Anyway, I'll think of a way to deal with these two and then continue gathering information. If you manage to learn anything, you can find me at Caravan Rebot. And as for you, I don't ever want to catch you buying canned knowledge again. If you possess any unused knowledge capsules, then you should submit them to the authorities immediately.
Okay, I got it. Just keep your nose out of my business.
Hey! What's with the attitude, mister?
What, you got a problem with that too? Listen, buying canned knowledge is a deal between two people, the buyer and the seller. We don't need people like you butting in on our business here. Think about it. If the academia is hoarding something as convenient and useful like canned knowledge, then they must have been planning only to use it for themselves. Am I right?
The academia has clearly published the potential dangers of canned knowledge. I don't like having to repeat things. And besides, I'm sure you wouldn't listen anyway. I just hope you understand that your actions are what fuels the smuggling of canned knowledge. If I ever catch you again, I will personally see to it that you are punished. All right, Traveler. I need to go now.
Ha! You think you can scare me?
Traveler, why don't we go talk to Dory? She's got loads of connections and might be able to tell us something about all this. If Paimon remembers correctly, she's usually at the Palace of Alcazar's. Let's go!
There is no...
What do we have here? I see. So that's the latest scoop. Good thing you didn't rat me out. Otherwise, who knows where I'd have to be hiding to avoid attention. No idea. Sorry. I've already cashed out of the canned knowledge business. Huh? You mean you stopped selling it? That's right. With so much canned knowledge flooding the market, it was becoming impossible to fetch decent prices anymore. Besides, it seems that group of smugglers has practically taken over the market. It's a little rule of mine to never fight for a share of someone else's market. If I'm gonna make Mora, it's gonna be the lion's share. Plus, with regulations getting as tight as they are now, I figured I might as well just hang it up. Aw, sounds like we came all this way for nothing. Well, not completely. Granted, I don't know who's behind all the smuggling activity, but since you didn't sell me out, I'll let you in on what I do know. After all, those smugglers have really crossed the line, butting their way into the market like that. I hope their luck runs out soon so that I can take over. I mean, so that the industry can become more fairly regulated. Hey, you just want to make more business for yourself. Don't underestimate its value. Think about it. You can gain all sorts of knowledge while bypassing the troublesome process of studying. Naturally, that makes it a product worth a high price. Of course, not everyone needs that kind of knowledge, but in a market as big as Sumeru, there is plenty of demand. Plus, the cost of production is relatively low, so even if dealers have to cover transportation costs, there's still an enormous profit to be made. Then why does the academia prohibit selling canned knowledge? Being able to gain complex knowledge and become a scholar with the snap of your fingers does sound like a dream, doesn't it? But everything in the world comes at a price, right? Gaining knowledge is a complicated process. It requires learning, thinking, and practice. Even when it comes to my own business, I have to go through a lot of preparation before I put anything out for sale. But with canned knowledge, one may simply skip all the hassle and get whatever they need to know immediately. That inherently leads to at least two potential problems. First, you'll accept the knowledge as factual without a second thought, and you'll find it very hard to forget. This means that if the knowledge is flawed, then it'll be very difficult to correct. And second, excess use of knowledge capsules over an extended time diminishes your ability to think. You'll end up becoming like a library that can only store knowledge. Oh, that does sound pretty dangerous. Traveler, you used canned knowledge before. Did you feel any negative effects? Of course, using it sparingly is not an issue, which is exactly why I used to sell it. It's just like how medicine can be used to cure diseases, but can also do harm when overused. It all comes down to balancing the right amount. Anyway, back to the point. There'll be consequences if the sale of canned knowledge by those smugglers is left unchecked. And what's worse, you're playing right into their hands by focusing only on the canned knowledge that's made its way into the market. As far as I know, their real purpose is to distribute information about the Court of Desolation. That's where the real business opportunity is. The Court of Desolation? What's that? Rumor has it that it's a site of ruins from the age of the Scarlet King. It's said that with the treasures inside, one can see beyond life and death. But any research of the ruins is strictly banned by the academia. Word on the street is that there'll be an auction taking place in the desert. They're auctioning rare canned knowledge, some of which is related to the Court of Desolation. Once I heard about the auction, I began to suspect that all the canned knowledge popping up on the market is just a diversion. I'd wager that their real target is the Court of Desolation. Because studying those ruins is not just a simple matter. It requires knowledge spanning several fields. So, if they're aiming to quickly assemble a research team, canned knowledge would be the best solution. As for the auction, chances are they're trying to attract and scout out anyone with interest or expertise on the subject.
On the other hand, no one can say for sure that they will ever succeed in finding the Court of Desolation. So, they might as well just make a fortune while they're at it by hyping up the related canned knowledge at the auction.
Sounds to Paimon like we better head to the desert and see the auction. Who knows, we might find some leads there.
That's right. And now that I've shared all that valuable info with you, it's time to introduce our limited edition desert travel kit. It comes complete with a map straight to the auction location. As I said, I also have to make preparations before I sell things, right? Now, let me consider how much I should sell this for. I've got it! 500,000 mora per kit! That's quite the bargain. We'll even offer a 50% discount for little Paimon's travel kit. Only 250,000 mora.
What? That's super expensive!
No need to worry, little one. Cyno's the one heading this investigation, isn't he? I'll be sure to bill all the expenses to him. All you'll need to do is tell him to go to the Merchants Guild and pay the bill once the mission is completed. Just, be sure to not send him directly here, though, okay? That would leave me completely in the open. I'm sure the former General Mahamatra of the Academia would never leave any debt unpaid. Oh, the Mora. I can see it already. Loads of shiny Mora coming Dory's way.
We'd better get going. If Dory keeps at it, we'll be out of Mora. We got news for you. What the smugglers are really after is a chance to research the Court of Desolation. They're hosting an auction in the desert to sell canned knowledge about those ruins.
The Court of Desolation. I won't ask how you came by this intel, but is it reliable?
We also heard that the Court of Desolation contains treasures from the time of the Scarlet King. Is that true?
Partially. It was a secret place built by a dark sect from the age of the Scarlet King. The ruins do contain treasures, but the place is also rife with unknown dangers. According to past research, one must forfeit their life as the price of entering. They are not some ordinary ruins, so the Academia has strictly prohibited any related research. However, if they are using the canned knowledge as a way to move information and recruit researchers, then I suppose your conclusion does hold some validity. Regardless, we need to go into the desert. Less in recent years, but there are always those who attempt to do so, both inside and outside the Academia. After all, legends claim that whoever obtains the treasures inside can see beyond life and death, or even resurrect the dead. Death is often the greatest grievance for many people. Though they're fully aware that the chance of these rumors being true are slim, they hold tight to such fantasies and pursue them regardless. That's why some continue to research it, regardless of it being a restricted subject. On top of that, It's hard to track the source of information contained in canned knowledge. Do you know where the auction is taking place? Good. We'll go investigate. But before that, we'll have to get rid of these people tailing us.
Huh? People tailing us?
That's right. Let's begin to leave town and see what happens. I'm sure they'll reveal themselves as soon as we make a move. Don't worry. I'll make short work of them.
That's Cyno for ya. But we can lend a hand too, you know.